Welcome to the Dreamlands. We are planet side for some Deserts of Kharak multiplayer. Going to be a 1v1 on a map that I haven't cast in quite some time. Firebase Kriil. Classic map. Classic matchup. We're going to have the old Coalition versus Galzian and two top tier players facing off on this map. We're going to have Descara playing his main, the Coalition, and Bozocow playing his main, the Galzian. So let's kill the UI and all of this stuff before we jump in. Get our bearings as well here. Looks like we are going to be on, well, we'll call this north and south. So spawning on the north side of Firebase Kriil. First up, it is going to be Bozocow. This is a player that has been in the scene for a long time. He is one of the better players in the community. And I do believe Galzian is his main, so he should be putting a pretty strong performance in this matchup. I anticipate his opponent, he's going to need a pretty strong performance to be sure, because it is none other than Descara. If you guys have been watching my videos or involved in DOK whatsoever, you know this gent. Top Coalition player in the game and has been for pretty much the entirety of DOK's life. Very, very skilled player. And I always look forward to casting some games from him. Hanging back with the base runner, Descara has saturated his main. Let's get production tab up so we can see what's going on. There's a production or a support cruiser in the queue, almost finished. Unsurprisingly, very standard Coalition opener. Forward base runner from Bozocow, probably going to try and get that sensor out and grab an early artifact. We'd have a probe hitting the field from Descara. Do we have production cruiser refinery mode? Refinery mode about to finish, so going for an economic opener. Bozocow. Not standard for Galzian play, but if you can pull it off, it's very, very strong. He is about to have his first wreck bulkhead saturated as well, so very strong economic opener from Bozocow, looking pretty good. Descara is going to get a beat on it as he sets up his first wreck bulkhead himself. A little bit behind in salvager count, so Bozocow with some nice play, getting an economic lead in that early game. Is he going to go for that middle artifact? No scanner yet, unless he popped it on top of the carrier and I missed it, but I don't think so. We do have our first sand skimmer hitting the field. Very, very strong opener from Bozocow. Looks like he's going to grab the close artifact. What do we got for Descara? AAV fabrication, almost halfway done. Scouting the map, looking for any shenanigans. Second skimmer, looks like these two are going to escort the base runner to the artifact retrieval point and perhaps try and get a little bit of harassment in. Question is, what tech is he going to follow that up with? And it's going to be railguns. So skimmers into railguns. First wreck bulkhead is saturated. What do we got in the queue? An AAV. First AAV going to hit the field, split on the sand skimmers. Look to hit that main, as well as block the base runner from grabbing an artifact. So really nice play from Bozocow. We do have a single LAV that hit the field. AAV is just about to hit the field as well. So Bozocow is going to be seen off with doing no damage, but he is going to dunk that first artifact of the game, taking him up 1-0 and going to already start long hauling from his second wreck bulkhead. So very, very strong economic play from Bozocow. I like what I see so far. Descara, as usual, playing it cool, hanging back, getting exactly what he needs to suffer no damage. Going to start long hauling from that second wreck bulkhead as well. Doesn't want to fall behind in terms of economy. Second production cruiser in the tab for Bozocow. Carrier production and railgun production coming from Descara. So keeping pace. Now that he's got this AAV on the field, he feels pretty confident to grab an artifact of his own. Because we don't see any more skimmers, just those two. Descara knows what's up. He's got that probe all over Bozocow. I like his vision here too. Going to take back that map control a little bit. Bozocow got missile ship fabrication, eh? Interesting. So maybe he anticipates AAV into strike fighter which is not going to be Descara's choice in play right now. AAV escorting that base runner into the artifact. Retrieval zone. These two skimmers not going to be able to stop that, but this assault railgun, which has hit the field. Oh, nice play with the production cruiser. Going to try and get that AA on the probe. Descara is going to dunk that artifact, tying it up 1-1, and on the back of that, though, we have Bozocow grabbing a second artifact. Going to be spotted by that single LAV. He's going to drop a turret. Why is he stopped? Yep. Going to stop to plop a turret down. Really nice play, though. What's going on with this assault railgun? It is going to eat shit. That turret going to just absolutely lay waste to that thing. Boom. Artifacts are tied up 1-1. A second AAV going to support this LAV to try and block Bozocow's artifact, but he does have an assault railgun moving in pretty quickly to support this base runner. Single scouting skimmer on that side, keeping tabs on Descara. Second support cruiser on the field for Descara, so 3 base economy for both players now.
Invasion strike craft down. Command authority ready. Defense alert. Support cruiser.
Some timely reinforcement from these assault railguns going to allow Bozocow to grab that second artifact. So still in the lead from artifacts. And as we move into the mid game with both players on even keel in terms of economy and pretty much even keel on tech, things should start panning out to be a pretty interesting game so far. We are looking at a couple AAVs, couple railguns, and a single LAV for Descara. Lone skimmer and a bunch of assault railguns backed up by a missile ship for Bozocow. Still sitting at 2-1 in terms of economy, or in terms of artifacts, pardon me, while these 3 spawn in. Luckily for Bozo, the one closest to him is going to spawn in. But with these railguns on the field, I don't know if these assault rails are going to be enough. Descara going to take up that high ground position on the base. Very fun map this is. I haven't played on it in quite some time, but I do enjoy it quite a bit.
Heavy railgun in service. We do not have enough RUs.
I heard a heavy railgun. A couple heavy railguns on the field now for Bozocow. More and more railguns, some AAVs. What do we got for tech? Still no tech. Just AAV and rail. Bozo getting that grab on the second artifacts while the heavy railguns take up position on the firing emplacement. More and more heavy railguns for Bozo. Where's his carrier? Oh, sneaky. What is he doing? So he does have a few units of power from those artifacts, getting power reserve 1 right now, and interceptor fab. Going to try and take dominance of the skies, backed up by those missile ships. Try and prevent Descara from getting a foothold in the skies. Big armies coming out now from both players. Bozocow up to something cheeky with that Galcian carrier up on the high ground there. Looks like we have our first big engagement of the game. Nice scanner. I'm just going to keep tabs on all of these units. This AAV going wide. Looks like we're going to have a showdown with Descara's units on top of this cliff and Bozocow's units on top of that. Firing emplacement. Defensive railguns in position back home for Descara. Bozocow's base runner wisely retreating. He doesn't want any part of this. The terrain's very, very dense and tight on this map, so it can be pretty difficult to make open engagements on enemy territory. A little bit of poke with the carrier there. Did it take some damage? Doesn't look like it. We do have interceptors in the sky now from Bozocow, though. Let's kill this. We don't need that anymore.
New course set. New interceptor online awaiting orders. Grid mark set.
Bozocow going to try and poke. He doesn't want any of this, though. Look at all these railguns on the high ground. Those forces are going to get wrecked, but we do have air support moving across the map onto the other side, going to start putting the hurt onto all of these railguns. dislodging Descara from this position and allowing Bozocow to move forward with his own forces. Probably going to try and camp them up here while this base runner dunks the artifact. Nice play from Bozo. He did get wrecked on this side. Carrier and heavy rails forced to retreat. Descara grabbing an artifact and still sending a few more units over here to try and prevent Bozocow from fortifying this position and making his life difficult. Oof, these assault railguns getting too far ahead of the pack. They are going to get owned. Those units are toast. Is this base runner going to make it? It would be pretty risky. I don't think so. I don't think Bozocow wants to come up here, actually.
Hostile railgun inbound.
Confirmed.
Oh, that barrage. Actually, nicely dodged by Descara.
Heavy railgun online. Move. Contact enemy.
Oof, nice focus fire. One of the heavy rails goes down. I don't think Bozocow wants any of this.
Advance out. Siege cruiser fabrication online.
I heard siege cruiser fabrication. We've got siege cruisers coming on the back of this play from Bozocow. Air support inbound, going to try and save that base runner. It is close. Oof. Nice damage from those interceptors. Going to clean up most of these forces. But a couple of AAVs are running rampant here through Bozocow's resourcing operations. 1, 2 salvagers drop. There's even a railgun back here. An assault railgun trying to stem the tide. The assault rails end. Interceptor's going to clean that up. And that's probably going to allow Bozo to dunk this artifact. Mass forces on the other side of the map. A bunch of LAVs as well as a couple missile batteries now backing up these mass heavy rails, or these mass railguns, and base run are going to try and make a play to even up those artifacts. Artillery cruiser on the field as well for Descara. Really nice. Almost mirrored compositions for these players, except for Bozo having lots and lots of air. He's going to go on with these LAVs, going to try and go deep for a little bit of harassment. I think Bozocow knows where they're at because he has got his carrier full speed. Going to try and get back home. Interesting, we even have assault ships on the field. LAV is going to clean up that scanner. Bozo drops an artifact, getting up to 3, while Descara drops an artifact, getting up to 2. Still very tight. Bozocow in the lead. This railgun is toast. Going to get caught out of position by all these LAVs. Descara nicely going to shut down mining on this further position just for a minute. Artillery cruiser going to back up this big blob up here. Carrier still at home, surprisingly. No research into power.
Hostile turret spotted.
Ready.
Move and charge point defenses.
This should be an interesting standoff over here.
Enemy armor inbound.
Oh, these missile batteries getting caught out by these railguns for a couple of shots.
Hostile base runner detected. Defense alert. Heretic anti-air turret spotted.
Descara looking very, very strong on this flank with that artillery cruiser. Tons of railguns, LAVs through the middle. Enough AA to kind of prevent Bozocow from running too rampant in the skies. Big artillery barrage. Oh god, look at that damage.
Assault railgun destroyed.
Amazing damage. More AAVs onto the field, more artillery cruisers. AAVs, railguns, artillery cruisers, missile batteries, and LAVs up against assault ships, heavy railguns, interceptors, and siege cruisers. We're going to have a barrage come out from the siege cruiser. Tense stuff.
Armored craft lost. Hostile craft detected. Prosecute.
Research concluded.
Descara with another base runner. He could go dunk that right now without any problems. Going to tie it up by the looks of it. Couple of AAVs and missile batteries just holding down that left flank, while on the right flank is where the larger portion of the engagement looks to be brewing. Descara going to abandon that high ground.
Heavy railgun in service. Moving to destination.
Defense alert.
Oh man, that artillery is just so scary. Desperate play to clean out these LAVs. Pretty good damage coming out from those assault ships, but they are going to get cleaned up by that artillery and these railguns. Unbelievable. One of them actually survives. Crazy. We do have a little engagement going on the other side while this happens. Artillery and railguns going to see off these AAVs. Oof. A couple of barrages even on that base runner from the missile batteries. Looks like the AAVs are going to focus it, and they are going to pop it. On the back of that play, Descara did dunk an artifact, bringing it up 3-3. What a damn good game this has been. I grabbed this off the Homeworld Universe Discord. So if you guys want to have your games cast, I often am active on the Homeworld Universe Discord as well as my own Dreamlands Discord. I will provide the links to both of those in the video description. If you want to get in on there and hit me up or send me your replays, I encourage you to do so. Big push by Descara. A couple of assault or artillery cruisers. Heavy fire raining down on Bozocow's forces. He does have a couple of siege cruisers of his own, one of them close to death. All of his other forces decimated almost entirely. Very strong push. In come the railguns. What is Bozocow going to do about this? He does have a couple of artillery siege cruisers. Big barrages coming out. Oh man. Backed up as they are by a very strong carrier. Some desperation interceptors going to go in. That was a mistake. Those get cleaned up with doing almost no damage whatsoever. Oh man, look at the carrier pour fire onto that artillery cruiser. That thing got wrecked. There's so much artillery on the field though for Descara, and he has it spaced out really, really nicely, providing a lot of trouble for Bozocow. Bozocow does have some decent forces across on the west flank though. Assault ship and some heavy railguns. Descara has spotted though, and he has tons of units over here ready to answer. More than enough to keep him safe. A fourth artifact inbound. Bozocow's cleaned out quite a number of these units though. Some skimmers coming in to cause some havoc, forcing these artillery cruisers and railguns back. Nice play by Bozo, buying himself some breathing room. A siege cruiser out onto the west flank. Oh, these railguns get cleaned up big time. Nice positioning there from Descara. Oh man, these AAVs pushing deep. Big barrage coming out right on top of those railguns. A lot of the shots are going to go wide though. And these AAVs are causing such a headache cleaning up all those railguns, getting right in the middle of all these forces. Oh man, big play from Bozo going out with the fully powered carrier, going to try and charge into all this artillery. He did pop down a nuke here. I saw the indicator. I don't know if it hit anything. Damn, I missed that. That sucks. Nice ballsy play from Bozocow though, going to get his carrier right on top of all of these artillery cruisers, going to clean everything up with a beautiful carrier play. Is Descara going to get that artifact? Looks like he is. Insane. Jesus Christ, look at all this shit going on. Bozocow pushing with his carrier deep into Descara's territory, while Descara pushes into Bozocow. This is going to be the game maker, I feel like, because if Bozo loses his carrier here, it's over. AAV's pushing into the economy from both flanks, reinforced by railguns and missile batteries. Bozo just gonna do some fucking acrobatics over here. Trying to get out of dodge, man. He has all his power in healing and speed. He is probably okay. Couple of railguns as well as siege cruisers going to hold this off for the time being. What a damn fine game this has been. Descara taking the lead in terms of artifacts 4-3. Absolutely mental. Couple sand skimmers causing havoc over there. Nothing too decisive. Trying to get a surround on these forces. It looks like Bozocow in a desperate position though. He has very few forces on the field by comparison to Descara, and Descara just keeps that train rolling, pushing ever onward with all of these units. That brute force coalition macro is terrifying indeed. Descara cleaning up these forces, and it looks like he wants to put the pincher of death onto Bozocow. does have this siege cruiser here with a very nice barrage. Heavy damage onto all those forces, but not quite enough. Majority of them did move through it. Nice barrages from Descara. Cleans up almost entirely this resource operation. Looks like that last salvagers might fall to AAV fire. Clutch smoke. No. Bozocow gets it out. The siege cruiser is going to see these forces off. What does Bozocow have left other than a suicide charge? Does he have a nuke? He doesn't even have enough money for a nuke. Mains are mined out. He just has this one mining operation. Looks like we are going to have a carrier showdown to close out this game, and there's nothing I love more than that.
Defense alert. Heretic forces are extracting an artifact.
Defense alert. Production cruiser is in contact.
Carrier range.
Oh, Descara backing away.
Harvester repositioning.
Railgun taking fire.
Descara going to try and use his railguns to take this carrier down.
Systems offline.
His carrier just there to body block for that artifact, presumably. I don't know if he's going to even... Bozocow's going to give him a chance to dunk it.
Heretic forces are extracting an artifact.
Using the cliffs really nicely here. What's going on this side? AAV's cleaning up the last remnants of Bozocow's resource operation, just getting picked apart by the implacable advance of Descara's forces.
Alert. Carrier hull at 50% integrity.
Double artifact grab for Descara. Is he trying to get an artifact lead? There is a Galcian missile barrage.
Cruiser in contact. Defense alert. Engaged.
I don't know, man. This thing is hit and miss. Sometimes it can be game winning, and sometimes it can do absolutely nothing. Random nature of those missile strikes, sadly. Descara certainly has this game unless something totally mental happens. Somehow Bozocow was able to clean up all of these AAVs, so he still is mining almost off of 2 locations.
Carrier under attack. Craft
Again with the carrier play.
siege cruiser destroyed. Warning. Carrier hull is at half integrity. Railgun is being engaged.
Gonna eat a couple of mortars from those missile batteries and just make a desperate final charge with his carrier. Descara closing in from the rear with his own carrier. Big siege cruiser barrages right on top of Descara's carrier. But Bozocow is seconds from death. I feel like there he goes. What a fantastic game. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Please leave a like if you did. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button. And again, jump on those Discords and I will see you there. Till next time.